I'm going to show you where to find all of the new Milk Molars added in Grounded 2's new Toxic Tangle update, and I'll show you which one is inaccessible at the moment, as well as the two that were added to one of the pre-existing areas on the map. Starting in the greenhouse area, you're looking for this lattice and fallen shovel. Work your way across this fallen shovel into the greenhouse itself through the broken window on top, and down onto this shelf where you'll find the first Milk Molar. For the second Milk Molar here, we're actually going to be returning to the exact same spot again on top of the lattice where the shovel was. This time, however, as we cross the shovel, we're going to hook ourselves a right, and be aware there are wasps and a wasp nest up here, and the platforming can be a little bit tricky, so just be careful. As you work your way onto this branch, you'll notice the wasp and wasp nest there on the left, and then continuing on, you'll find the spider's nest that leads you to another branch that leads back into the greenhouse. Following this one, we're going to hook our way onto this wire to get on top of this light fixture, where you'll notice the second Milk Molar up here. For the next one, we're going to be going back to the same exact location again. This time, however, we're going to be hooking ourselves a right and following the lattice onto a plank below. So over there, you're going to have to watch out for some Toxic Tang puddles for this location. Drop down onto the board below you, and then work your way up on top of this. If you don't have your ladybug buggy, just be careful where you're stepping. And then as you get into this box, there will be more Tang puddles to avoid, and then this apple core that you can climb on top of, and back in this corner behind the sour candy boxes, you'll find another Milk Molar. There is no Toxic Tang down in the corner though, so you're good to just stand down there to collect it. And for the next one, we're actually going to be, again, coming back to basically the same location. This time we're right outside this box on top, and if you look behind you, you're actually going to see a bag of fertilizer up here. If you work your way towards that and drop down below you onto the brick, you can jump over to this brick in front, and you'll actually be able to see the Milk Molar from here. Or if you're coming from down below, you can just climb the board itself, and then just look for this little wasp nest. Of course, be careful that the wasp is up here as well, and drop down between the board and those bricks to find the next Milk Molar. And for the following Milk Molar, we're actually going to be again coming to basically the same location, but this time we'll be on the ground down below the lattice. I'm also going to mention that the one Milk Molar that is inaccessible is located here in the greenhouse area. It's underneath it. You do not need to get it in order to be able to get all of the upgrades for the standard Milk Molars, so don't worry about that. Down below, inside of this large Tang puddle underneath the lattice, you're looking for this little cave across the puddle in the wall. Make your way safely across, and be aware there is a lot of Tang puddles in here, and you're also going to have to fight a stink bug at the top. Right before you get to the Milk Molar itself, you'll notice the stink bug is right there, and behind him you'll find the first Mega Milk Molar here in the greenhouse area. And for the second and the final Mega Milk Molar located in the greenhouse area, we're behind the greenhouse itself up against this little box basically in the wall, and you're looking for this hole underneath the brick. Work your way through, and then up to the right side onto this ledge where you'll find a chest that you can loot. And as you try to work your way on this leaf, it's a little tight, but once you get up there, cross that spider's path onto this branch, all the way back to this corner, across two more spider's paths, onto a hoe or a shovel handle, and then climb your way up into these boards and underneath this little ledge here, and you'll notice the second Milk Molar is up there on the glass jars. That was all of the Milk Molars in the greenhouse area, including the one inaccessible one at the moment. But like I said, you don't have to worry about that. There's enough. Moving on to the Veggie garden, you need to find the hammer location and this garden hose, and working your way up the garden hose onto this boot and across this spider web's path, up this ice cream cone and another spider's path. You'll notice some Orb Weaver Juniors wandering around, and then above us here are some Orb Weaver Seniors. You'll have to wrap your way outside, around, and onto this can, and then you'll have to deal with the Orb Weavers as you work your way across there, onto these popsicle sticks, and instead of going up that board, if you cross below it, onto the spider's web, you'll notice there are some little garden pots up here hanging, suspended pots basically. You'll have to work your way across the fencing onto this leaf in the back corner, and then up another spider's web back to the fencing. Wrap your way around the corner, back over towards some more suspended pots, and one more spider's pathway to find this Milk Molar. This one's a doozy. It's a long ways up there. And now returning back to the exact same location we started at for the last one, this time we're going to follow that same garden hose up, but we're actually going to hook a left onto the plants instead. So you'll have to start down at the same location, and then as you work your way up right about here, instead you'll notice this leaf on the left. Cross over onto that, and then jump your way up onto the secondary one, which is a little tricky, over to the one behind it, cross this large gap, and then up and around on this leaf, and then one more little gap there, and you can walk your way onto these leaves to collect that Milk Molar. And then for the next Milk Molar, we're actually going to be working our way all the way down into the Cabbage Patch area. This one's a little harder to find because it's underneath and it's dark. There will be a lot of earwigs, so keep an eye open for that, and you're just looking for this cardboard box, but instead of going to the box, hook a left, find this cave in the wall, and as you work your way down into the cave, you're going to have to kind of wrap your way off to the right, and it's going to go all the way down and around the corner. You will encounter some cockroaches, a cockroach queen as well at the very bottom. All the way down at the very bottom ledge here, you'll see the cockroach queen starts coming at you, and behind her in the corner, you'll find the next milk molar. For the following milk molar, we're actually going to be working our way down back into the cabbage patch, or down into the pumpkin area, the pumpkin patch. And between these two pumpkins and the wall, right next to where this fencing is, you're going to kind of find this little gap, and there will be a cave underneath where the fence itself is. You have to work your way into the cave, and then this one kind of does wrap down to the right as well. This one's a ways down, so you'll have to take some time. Make sure you bring a torch, it's very dark. All the way down to the right again, and then you'll see it down here in the bottom left corner, and there's also some upgrade materials in this cave you can find. For the next one, we're going to be working our way to the border between the greenhouse and the pumpkin patch, and we're looking for two large pumpkins here with a spider's path between them. Across that, you'll see that little black area on the pumpkin over here, little circle. You'll have to use your axe to chop into this, and once you get inside, you can actually cross the spider's web nest, and on the right side down below you, you'll notice another one underneath that little piece of pumpkin. We'll be looking for a similar pumpkin for the next milk molar location, down in the bottom right corner actually. And once you get on top of this one, we're just looking for another little circle, and it's kind of next to those rope lights up on the box wall there. Chop your way into this pumpkin, and if you enter down in here, there's a little like pond basically. You'll have to drop down into this water on the right side, and in a little cave down here where these pumpkin seed clusters are located, you'll notice the milk molar is underneath the water. If you've been enjoying this video so far and would like to see more content like this, both covering Grounded 2 and just in general, I would ask that you please subscribe, as it really helps the channel out. It would be very much appreciated. Thanks, and with that, back to the video. For the next one in the pumpkin patch area, we're going to be down in the exact same area on top of the same pumpkin, but this time we're going to follow the roots up instead of going inside. This one's also a very long ways, and it's got a lot of kind of tricky platforming, so be careful. There's a lot of tang puddles, so you might want to bring your ladybug buggy instead. As you work your way up and around, you'll notice some fireflies, and it does get very tight in some spots. You'll have to jump a few times, so be very careful. As you get up to this point here, you'll notice that you'll have to turn yourself around and jump onto some leaves. Climbing up onto the second leaf, you can get onto another branch that will actually wrap its way all the way up and on top of this little ledge here. On this ledge, there is vases. That's the word I'm looking for. All the way over here into this corner, and in between these boards here, you're going to have to kind of drop down onto a ledge. I recommend jumping over to the left side and then walk your way into the wall as you kind of drop. You'll slide your way up onto this little nook, and you'll see another milk molar hiding right down here in the corner. For the next milk molar located here in the pumpkin patch area, we're going to be down on the bottom left side now, and we're actually kind of looking for a large pumpkin you can see on the map, and then a box of pumpkins on the wall. From the pumpkin down below, you can use this root system to climb your way up to where this power box is, and then past that, you jump onto this little leaf over here, and you can actually climb your way up to another leaf right there, and then from this leaf, you can actually just get up on the wall, and inside of this box with the pumpkins, you'll locate some orb weaver spiders, and down in this back corner, you'll see a Mega Milk Molar actually right behind a sleeping orb weaver spider at the moment. And for the next milk molar located here in the Croquet Court area, which used to be the grasslands, it's down where the snake colossus's path is located, and you're kind of looking for this large CD here. It's a location on your map if you've already found it, and behind there is a little cave. Working your way down into this cave, we're also going to be kind of sticking off to the right in this one. So go all the way down, it keeps bending off to the right there. You work your way up onto this ledge, and then off to the right is another cave that you can kind of tuck your way down. The milk molar is at the very end of that cave against the wall. For the next and only other milk molar here in the Croquet Court area, we have to come up to the top right corner. This one is a little ways off the ground, and you're kind of just looking for these leaves and mushrooms down in this back corner. You can climb up onto this little platform leaf, basically, working your way across onto this, and you actually are looking for that spider web over there where the hose is. We're going to work our way up onto the leaves right beside it, climb across this spider web and the next one, and you'll see the Mega Milk Molar located there on the brick wall. So jump your way across, gather this guy up, and we're going to be working our way now to the fire pit area. There's a new section added to the fire pit with this bench and a trash can. And down underneath where you can see that croquet hammer on your map, you'll notice this large rock that you'll need to bomb. If you bring a bomb down here with you and blow the rock up, it'll expose a broken pipe underneath the croquet hammer. I recommend bringing a light and something to cut the vines with in the water. It's very dark down here. And if you just swim your way back this direction and hook your way off to the right, you'll find the vines that you have to cut through. Cutting through those, and then down right behind where you entered through, you'll notice the milk molar there on the ground. And there's also one more here in the fire pit area, located right next to the large trash can at the commemorative milk carton. You just have to find the milk carton just outside the trash can, and you'll see some coins in it. If you climb in the milk carton up the top left side, underneath another coin will be the last milk molar. And that is all of the milk molars that were added in the Grounded 2 Toxic Tangle update.